Happy Easter, everyone. I actually just had an Easter dinner, so if I fall asleep halfway through this video, I am so sorry. But I'm honestly glad that it's Easter because that's going to help me stay positive for a not so positive situation. This is a story, guys, of getting a book that was already a perfect 9.8 and having it drop. And unfortunately, it is 2 books that got a grade drop. So as you can see here, I got a Carnage, first appearance of Carnage. I actually won that. It's the only thing in my life I ever won. And I won it. It was a newsstand, 9.8. Mark Bagley was doing a signing, and I said, you know what? Let me roll the dice here. And he signed it, and it came back a 9.8. That was some months back, sometime in the summer. Then I did the same thing with the second appearance and with the third. Notice how they're all newsstand and they're all with the custom logo and all signed by Mark Bagley. A bit of a flex, but I didn't want to just stop there. So I got the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, which is ASM 344, and I got 360 in a 9.8 newsstand also, which is the first appearance of Carnage, whereas this is the first full appearance of Carnage. Anyway, so I've got it all in 9.8, but with those 2 remaining books, I wanted to get them signed by Mark Bagley to continue a theme I got going on here. And because every time I've done a signing in which I've already sent in a book that was already graded, they've always retained the same grade. So it lulled me into a little sense of security. Unfortunately, as you're about to see, that is not guaranteed. And, you know, I want to get all mad and everything, but the reality is these books, once they get slammed, they're not really intended to be taken out. So, I haven't seen these books yet, but when you take them out of the slab, they could incur a damage. It's what you do when you send a CGC. If you're sending a book that's already a 9.8, it's a huge gamble, and it's not exactly a very good idea to do that. If you've got a 9.8, you should be happy with it. Don't gamble, because when you gamble, sometimes this can happen. Oh, I'll show this one first. This one's disappointing, but this next one's really disappointing. So check it out. This was a 9.8 newsstand, which is incredibly rare for that book, of the first Cletus Cassidy, and they all were 9.8 newsstands. I couldn't wait to get them all signed, and with the custom logo, unfortunately now I have a 9.6, so it doesn't match the rest of the 9.8s. So that's a bummer. And unfortunately, I'm not going to contact customer service because I know the risks, right? This is not their fault. Maybe Mark Bagley was rough with them, but I think what probably happened was when they took it out of the slab, they incurred some damage. What was interesting is these were books that were given a 9.8 recently, and they've been grading very harsh recently. So that's why if you have a 9.8 recently, it's like, yeah, that's definitely a 9.8 because they've been grading harsh. So I was surprised to see that come back a 9.6, which tells me some damage incurred. But this one's really disappointing. This one I had just gotten done, and there is a new spine tick. I can actually see it here, which was not there before. That is a bona fide spine tick if I ever saw one. Clear as day, and it looks like there's a little bit of broken plastic in this slab. Okay, I don't know what the hell happened there. There's a little bit of broken plastic in the slab. But I went from a 9.8 to a 9.4. Okay, so my dreams of having this complete collection in a 9.8, unfortunately, it's just not really possible now. I could maybe get this one pressed and try to go back for a 9.8. But I think that one's shot. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. And the problem is, you could get lucky and submit this and get a 9.8, but are you really going to find another newsstand copy that's a 9.8? I think probably not. So that's quite disappointing. But you know, this is the side that you don't want to see, right? Sometimes when you submit to CGC and, you know, usually when you do a signing, if it's already a 9.8, there's a very little chance it's going to lose that grade. Unfortunately for me, I sent 2 books in and they both got a grade drop. That's just the risk you take when you send in a pre-slabbed perfect grade. And that's why I think the moral of the story is here, if you've got a 9.8, leave it be, because it is not guaranteed that it's going to get that way. They have to reopen that slab, damages could incur. They have to have an artist sign it without messing it up or adding a tick or anything. And this time around, it got me. It got me a 1 grade dip here and 2 grade dips over there. So that's massively disappointing. And I should be happy and surprised, like, oh yeah, Mark Bagley signed this, that's so cool. But now, unfortunately, it's more of a negative experience rather than a cool, positive experience. So, you know what? The funny thing is, a 9.6 newsstand is still freaking awesome for this book. But just because it was a 9.8 just a month ago, yeah, it's definitely a bummer for me. Still cool. It's still quite a flex to have all this with custom labels signed by Mark Bagley, you know, 9.8, all this. It's absolutely still awesome. It's just that it once was more awesome and I made it a little less awesome. And, you know, that's on me. CGC is up front. To their credit, they fully warn you before you do a signing. They let you know, hey, this could come back lower. Are you sure you want us to crack this open? And I've cracked slabs open myself before, and I know, yeah, it's a little dangerous. So, you know, guys, there's a lesson always to be learned out there, and this Easter, I learned a valuable lesson once again. If you've got a 9.8, don't try your luck. Anyway, guys, keep on hunting.